Welcome to the Big V Instructional videos highlighting operational procedures, policies and media requirements for the year. We ask that all club delegates and administrators watch these videos, familiarise yourself with the content, and as always contact the office if you have any questions. First of all, go to the Google homepage, google.com.au, click sign in on the top right hand corner. The username is bigvimages@gmail.com and the password this year is #playbig2015. Click sign in. From here, in the top right hand corner, click the apps button and then click on Google Drive. This will bring you up to the Big V Google Drive system. The first folder that we'll look at is the operations folder. In here is a list of all of the operational paperwork that you will need across the course of the season. The first one is our 2015 annual calendar, which is our calendar highlighting the round dates and the Big V dinner dates for 2015. Next is our member registration guide, which you have all received by now. It's a step-by-step guide on how to register your players on the Big V online registration system. With the season about to start, please ensure all players are registered before they take the court. We have our 2015 final structure. We recommend that everyone sends this copy to their coaches as soon as possible so coaches are aware of the final structure for their divisions nice and early on in the season. We have our home match checklist, which is our checklist perfect for delegates and administrators, listing all of the operational requirements and what's required of them during the Big V working week. We have our age identification form. It is crucial this form is filled out by club delegates and also a parent or guardian for any athletes playing in the Big V senior or youth competitions that are under the age of 16. A copy of this must go to competitions@bigv.com.au before the player takes the court. We have the Basketball Australia domestic player clearance form. This form must be used for players clearing from the Seaball competition to Big V or from other state leagues to the Big V competition. We have the Clearance User Guide, which is a step-by-step instruction guide going through the online clearance process for players clearing from Big V to Big V. We have our call flute sign requirements. This is the perfect place for you to be able to see where you need to put your Big V signage during the course of the year. Next up is the Big V referee and referee coach operational manual. Feel free to pass this on to your coaches for a better understanding of the Big V referee program. Next is a Big V score sheet. The preference of the league is the score sheet is printed directly from the Live Stats program. However, there is a spare score sheet here, barring any problems with the computer system on the night. Our game day form, which has been slightly redesigned this year. Please ensure that this forms part of the paperwork that gets sent back to the league office on a Monday morning and given to your game commissioner to ensure that it's filled out for all home games. Please ensure that attendance is kept and put down on the sheet, as we do keep that data for reporting purposes. Next is the game footage process, just going through the procedure of how games need to be filmed, kept and distributed for all Big V games. The Modify the Member List guide is incredibly important. Basically, once all of your players have been registered to your club, they need to be dragged into the team. So for example, if you had a state championship men's team and a Victorian Youth Championship men's team, this shows how players that have registered can be dragged into either the championship men's team, the youth men's team, or both. The Big V call flute sign requirements is showing where the Moulton Victorian Youth Championship signs can be displayed during your games. Clubs that have teams in the Moulton Victorian Youth Championship will have these signs delivered to them early in the season. The online file sharing guide is actually a simple guide explaining how to use the Google Drive. So this is a great resource if your club has new delegates or administrators across the course of the year. The 2015 free passes page is a page that should be printed out and given to your ticket office or point of entry point at all games, so your door staff know who to admit into the games free of charge. The player agreement is a blank player agreement that was put together by Big V several years ago, which can be used as a contract for players. Many clubs now use this and amend the terms and conditions according to what their club's requirements are. This is something that we would urge all clubs to have their players fill out. The referee evaluation form is a really good tool for you to be able to give to your coaches, and it must be available on game day for both home and away coaches if they want to fill it out regarding the performance of the referee at that game. It is not compulsory that this is done, but the form must be available if the coaches request it. Please send these through to competitions@bigv.com.au or part of your game day paperwork to help us improve the standard of our refereeing. We have our Big V style guide, which goes through the correct Big V logos to be used, the correct Big V colours, and also where logos are to be placed on apparel such as singlets, warm-up tops, etc. Timing rules is pretty self-explanatory, and just a quick rundown of the timing rules for all Big V competitions. We recommend that you print this out and hand it to your score bench staff for game day. We have the visiting team information sheet. This is the sheet that must be sent out if your team has an away game and sent to the home club by 5 p.m. close of business Wednesday. Please ensure that all of the information, that players' numbers, height, age and position is included into the form. Unfortunately, last year we had situations where numbers were missing, positions were missing. We do need all of this information to be filled out on the form. The voting form is a little different this year. We still require the votes for the MVP votes and also the defensive player of the game votes. We also have a small game checklist for staff this year for the host club's obligations, asking was there a game program available, was there a court announcer, and were there floor sweepers. This needs to be filled out as part of the voting form requirements. Lastly, your welcome note. So for teams hosting home games, this must be sent to the team that is visiting your venue by 5 p.m. on a Monday night. This goes through, for example, what uniform colour you're wearing, what side that your team will be warming up on, and also what time a warm-up court is available for your team and players. Next is our policies folder. Within here is the Big V basketball referee travel policy. This policy is particularly useful for the regional teams that have referees travelling to their venue. We have the Big V referee agreement, which is the terms and conditions that referees agree to referee under when working to the Big V. We have our Club of the Year award policy. For you to look through, we recommend that you actually do distribute this to all of the people relevant to your Big V program so they can see what the award is judged on each year. We have the court announcers policy, and we do ask that you print this policy out and make sure that all of your court announcers have a copy of them at the game for their court announcing. The interclub communication policy just goes through the procedure for the welcome note and the visiting team list. And lastly, perhaps most importantly, is the team bench dress code policy. It is important that, being the state league, all players and coaches look respectable for their games, both in terms of obviously their uniforms, but their warm-up gear and what they arrive at the venue in. This policy goes through this, and we ask that you give a copy to all team managers and make sure that the team managers are enforcing this with the teams throughout the course of the season. Players that do not follow this policy, clubs can be fined for this, so we can't stress the importance of enough of the players looking respectable. A copy of the Big V bylaws will shortly be added into the policy folder also. We also have 3 media folders. First of all are the Cottam and Pottam, which is the Coach of the Month and Player of the Month folder. When these awards are announced, we upload the document in here so you can print out and use for your game programs. We have our previews folder and our reviews folder. Game previews for all of the divisions are uploaded directly by the staff into this folder. Same with reviews. The reviews from the weekend are available in the reviews folder to be printed out also and put in your game program. Our Big V photography team is out and about across the course of the season, so for images taken at games and also images that are taken for team photos at the Big V tournament, click again on the Apps button, click from here to Photos. From here, this brings up a full list of photos, but we want to drill down further than that to make it easier for you. Click on the More button. From there, click on Albums. Each club has their own album correlating under their club logo. The 2015 ones will be updated as they happen, and the 2014 folders are also there for you to use logos from last season. These logos are in high definition and are a great marketing tool, and we recommend that the clubs keep an eye on these and use the logos for their websites, their Facebook page, and their game programs across the course of the season.